Hi guys, what's up? Sometimes you look at your patient's skin looking for a vein and you think, good Lord, I will need a miracle here. So, here you go. My name is Alex Hepner and I'm bringing you 10 commandments of good cannulation. Why are we in the church? Because this is quite challenging environment if you think about vascular access. A, your patient most likely will be elderly and with lots of comorbidities. 2, it is quite cold here. 3, there is a moment of the service when members of congregation kneel and then they stand up, and that creates a sudden drop in blood pressure, hence why we're here. By the way, big shout out to guys from Lifecast Body Simulation for helping me out with this episode. Ask them if they are afraid of needles. Needle phobia will give them initial hypertension, so veins will be nicely visible, but later on they will have a bradycardia and a sudden blood pressure drop and basically syncope straight after IV insertion, so that's the last thing you want. Whilst looking for the vein, avoid bright direct light. Where possible, try to use natural light, and remember that yellow warm light will give you this nice three-dimensional effect on the vein. Remember, if you cannot see it, palpate it. Palpation is a really good tool, so use it. Whilst looking for appropriate vein, start choosing from the lowest vein and then work upwards. Remember, the cephalic vein will collapse last, so use it as the last resort. If your patient has a low blood pressure, it's actually better to apply a BP cuff instead of a tourniquet. However, invert it so the tubings are facing upwards and won't contaminate the site of insertion. Whatever you are using, a tourniquet or BP cuff, don't apply it too tight because you will impair arterial flow. So the best practice is to check radial pulse after a tourniquet or BP cuff application. If you cannot feel radial pulse, it means that your tourniquet or BP cuff is too tight and you are impairing arterial flow. So this way you will never get the veins filled up with blood and you will never properly visualize them. Let the gravity work. So don't hold the patient's arm like that. Let it lay flat or dangle down to promote venous filling. I wouldn't use GTN. Two things. A is it's against PGD. B, it doesn't really work. Whilst cleaning the skin, move the blood upwards towards the occlusion with your tourniquet or BP cuff. This way you will actually fill the vein up with blood. Do not rub the dirt into the patient's skin. Give the alcohol time to dry, otherwise the needle will slip on the skin. Hold the skin tightly and insert the cannula approximately 15-30 degrees atop of the vein. Pierce the skin, and when you can see the blood in the window, just and push the plastic bit towards the insertion site. Now occlude the vein, loosen the cap, remove the sharp straight to the sharps box and close the cannula. While securing the insertion site, never cross those white straps because you want to see insertion site and make sure that is not infected. Place the film Don't forget to mark cannula with date and time. Cool, that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Alex Hepner and this was Group Call.